Now I want you to just kind of
One comment after another. I'm like,
Do you think she reads? Do you read?
double that.
Yeah, or do you have them? Sometimes. Or do you think that's kind of
so you can see I put a lot of body in her hair. I've got all the body I need, which to me this is foundation. I've built all the foundation to her hair, so a blow dry like this, will last her like days. It'll keep up for days. All I got to focus on now is just getting it smooth and making it look pretty. And I find the best way to do that, I find that clumping over with a brush and a blow dry is actually more damaging than just running an iron through it really fast. And people say, oh, don't irons damage your hair, but my philosophy is this. If you've got like a shirt and you're ironing it, you can iron that shirt a million times as long as the iron's moving. If you're going to put the iron on and just hold it, it's going to burn. So I treat hair like a fabric. So I think as long as you keep it moving and you put the heat on it, then you're not going to damage the hair. So what I'm going to do is, I'll use a big iron.
Besides, I've lost Galasso in a week, so it doesn't matter. Do that once a week.
I'm going to put a little bit of heat protectant in her hair. I like using the Orbe products. I love these. This is the split end seal, which should actually be great for you.
I have it.
Oh, you do it?
I love it.
I don't use a lot of product. Like I said, you saw I just put a little bit of volumizer in the hair. When I use stuff like this, I hate when you just put it on and a chunk goes in my glove. So I almost rub it into my hands like a moisturizer. So it's all over my hands, and really what I've done is just a light film. All I do is I just kind of just go through and just put it on the surface of the hair.
She called me to do it.
I always walk on like
How about you, right?
Orbe, it's a split end repair. And what I used in the beginning was I used the Orbe Volumista. Is what I used. So now what I'm going to do is quite simple. I'm just going to just get these sections. And really in the same way that I've blow dried the hair. Smooth it out a little bit.
That's the problem with makeup on.
Do you always start curling from the front?
Always. I'm too impatient. I want to see what it looks like. I want to make the front look really great.
Good.
Because also, too, you work in a salon. A lot of it is you're wanting to keep your clients happy. So I think the sooner they see what they're getting, the happier they are, the more comfortable they become. So I like to show them straight away, like where everything's heading.
Right.
Do you use the same temperature?
Yes. I use the highest. Sometimes I think if the irons you put them too cold, it creates static electricity in the hair.
She's afraid of you?
Yeah.
That's good.
So she's like,
I have,
Someone else
when
girl.
she's nice to me because she's not afraid of me. And for this look, would you always start off with a big barrel like that?
Yeah. I don't want her hair to be too curly.
What is that, 2 inches?
This is 1.5 inches. This will give the hair basically like a blow dry look, and it won't make the hair look like it's been curled. It will just be like body.
What color am I in?
It's a 1.5 inch.
Oh,
Oh, it's a hot choice. I like these. I go through a lot of curling irons because I use them all the time. I like these ones because I get the job done. They're inexpensive, and I can replace them like every couple of months. You know how some people are product junkies? I'm a tool junkie. I'm always trying out new equipment. I'm trying out irons and flat irons and blow dryers. Because to me, I think that's the secret to successful work, you know, is the tools that you use.
That's a Marcel, right?
Yes.
I'm like, what did you do?
I use myself because it's easier for me, but the clip-on ones are really good too.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it at the highest heat setting?
Yes.
What happened to our TV shop, Dawn? Shoot that.
You're back there, very quiet.
Just watching.
Your makeup artist or hairstylist?
Makeup. Both.
These type of styles like this are really good styles when you're being booked for hair and makeup. You know, in LA, it's almost like every celebrity wants this kind of wave and be kind of sexy.
I couldn't be happier because honestly, where I find I need the most improvement is a blowout, and so just making my day.
Listen, I think the blowout is everything, you know. When she came to me this morning, she said, oh, I didn't wash my hair, I thought it'd be easy to style. I'm like, no, I really want you to have fresh, clean hair because I want to blow it out and really show the importance of a good blowout.
That's a question that I always get to with clients, if they should wash their hair the night before, the day of, what would you say?
You know, when I'm doing, for example, if someone comes to me and they want, like, you know, they're doing an updo or a wedding, you know, I always say wash it the day before. Because what happens is all this kind of stuff kind of settles.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that that's important to me, because we can get rid of that too, you know. Like, you know, you can just put a little bit of cream on that and that's all gone. I like to work with clean hair, personally, you know. I like to control the direction. I like to put the foundation in it first.
I find that letting clients, especially down here, leave their hair dirty. There are so many different levels of dirty, and
Yes.
so, like, you know, and some people's scalps are so much oilier than
To me,
others.
dirty
It's
is
just
like you wash it the night before the
dangerous.
day. You know, any more than that, I think it's just gross. I don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
I think always you get someone with sweaty, dirty scalp. It's like,
Your nose isn't that far from the head.
Do you always take like the sections vertical like that rather than
Always.
like?
I tell you why. I want to give it a really nice, sexy wave. If I start going down, then I end up looking like it's a big bubble. You know, I might take, you know, a section back here. Or something like this I might take. But I'm going to set this a little curlier later. Like once we get to this, I'm going to put, I'm going to beef it up with some hair extensions, and I'm going to take it even curlier. like I was saying yesterday, you know, I really like hair to move. I don't like to spray it so much and put all that product in the hair. I find when I over-product hair, I have a more difficult time trying to make it look good. My fingertips are really callous, so I can touch all of this. But you guys might want to wear a glove. Yeah, I find the most difficult blow dries to do is hair like this, and a lot of, you know, people that I've trained, you know, they can do, like I said, they can do the thick hair, they come in and let's make it straight and iron it, but it's really this type of hair that they find very challenging, because they just don't know what to do with it, you know. And I think, you know, what I've done today is I really dried a lot of it off. The drier the hair, the better the results. The bigger the sections you take, the more volume you're going to get. Like, the worst thing you can do to hair like this is start wet and take little sections and just, because by the time you're done, it's just flat and sticks to your head. You're going to have nobody at all in the hair. Now once I get it to like this, I might just look at it and think, okay, let's detail it just a little bit, because I can just put a little more there. If I don't want it too curly, I'll just kind of just curl the center of the hair like that. Sometimes I find using an iron like this more effective than a flat iron. Like those pieces that I started to make, that all came about. I worked with Kim Kardashian for almost 7 years, and sometimes it was just so much work to do all this. And sometimes we only had 20 minutes to do the blowout, to do the curls, you know. So I would come with these pieces already curled, and I would just do the top of it and just snap all these pieces on.
Nice.
But she used to love my blowouts. Like sometimes I'd finish a blowout and she's like, I don't want to do anything else. It just looks so good, you know, bouncy. And
Does she have really thick hair?
what's that? She has really fine hair. Really, really fine.
She just has a lot of it, I
A little bit.
She has a lot of hair. She has a lot of extensions in her hair.
Oh, some extra pieces.
You can see now because she's bleached it. She doesn't have any extensions. You can see how thin it is. You know?
Yes.
And not
You
because
didn't
of
bleach that, right?
What's that?
You did not bleach that, right? Okay.
I wouldn't do that to her.
He's like, no, I like her.
I don't mind it on her. I don't think she looks bad with it. I think she can wear anything, but she'll be tired of it in 2 days. I'm putting some of this on her hair. It's really great too. It's this Orbe moisturizing cream. Why do I like it like this? Because no matter how much you put on the hair drinks it. And it never makes the hair oily. Like no matter how much you put on, the hair will never be greasy with this.
That's a good to know.
And this is really great, like if you're doing wedding hair, and you want that look where the hair's a little kind of dirty. It doesn't make the hair greasy, but it just takes a lot of that fly away out of the hair.
So through the whole hair?
What do you think about all the shampoos?
I don't like the shampoos. I don't like them at all.
You can't brush it either.
I like the product, I don't like the shampoo. I work with a brand called Joico a lot. I like their shampoos a lot. They have this one shampoo called Body Deluxe. It comes in a green bottle. That shampoo and conditioner is amazing.
Is it good for fine hair also?
It gives hair so much body, makes hair so fluffy and beautiful when you blow it out. Yeah, and they also have a Body Deluxe. It's a volumizer, but it comes in a pump and it comes out like a foam. I use that the most. I use that the most because I think I get a really amazing blow up when I put that in
How much
the
would you
hair.
use, like just a pump?
So it's just like how I did here. I run it through the scalp a little bit, work it through with my fingers. But you can see, like, for how her hair is processed and it's damaged and all of that. You know, I think, you know, anyone would be happy walking in and walking out with a blow dry like this. You know, she's got everything she needs as far as body. It's gonna last. She's got volume. You know,
How do
it's,
you pronounce her?
and so little product was put in there. So I didn't do it right on product. It was just talent. You know. So what I'm going to do from here now is I'm going to show you what I do, like when I'm working with celebrities, because a lot of celebrities, you know, as much as they have great hair, you know, they have to have superhuman hair. So we always beef it up with hair pieces and extensions. So I'm going to put all the pieces in, and then we're going to reset it and do a completely different look with it. Okay.
But if she were to just leave, okay, I'm going home now.
This
Right?
is good for every day. If I was going to finish with this, I would just put a little bit of light spray on it, and then we're done.
Oh, that's it.
But I'm going to put extensions in here.
What about permanent extensions?
I do a
There are
lot
so
of
many-
permanent. I do a lot of permanent extensions.
There's so many techniques like full ones.
I do micro bonds. I don't know if you know what they are.
Yeah, the beat.
I do bonded. I don't like the beads. I do it with glue. But what I do is I have a supplier of hair. They're actually out of Florida, and I get this one hair that they can get, which is virgin hair, and it's because there's different levels of hair. And this hair that I get from them, it's from 13 to 16-year-old heads. So the hair is gorgeous. It's not so damaged. It's kind of expensive, but you know. And what I do is with each piece that I get, I cut them in half. And I don't spread them out like this. When I do them, if you look at my Instagram, I basically do like a machine stitch. It's like this. I'd rather do a few concentrated rows than spreading them out over the head, because I think when they spread out over the head, the long pieces just fall like spaghetti. And I like to have density, and I like to have that girth in the hair. And the only way I can get that is by dense packing in the hair. And I literally go very small, and I go like this, almost like in a section like this row, I would probably put like 15 or 16, and I would just keep going all around the head, and I would just do maybe 3 or 4 solid rows of that. So when it falls, you get that thickness and that density, as opposed to these little strands everywhere. Extensions like that I enjoy doing, because I think the results are really gorgeous. But you know, with that, when I get a new client that wants extensions, I really have to go through and explain to her that there's a certain amount of maintenance involved, you have to take care. I mean, you have to be prepared to do that. because I've got a few clients that I do it on. And I have this one client especially that she takes really good care of her hair. She brushes, she does everything she's supposed to. Never gets breakage. When we take them out, her hair's the same. Never a problem. I have this other one who comes in and she's like, oh, my hair's, you know, and I do everything you tell me, but I'm like, you've got like fur balls in the back of your head. You know, that wouldn't happen if you were brushing and doing everything I told you. You know, I don't want to say that they get lazy and they just go to bed and don't do anything. But at the same time, you know, if you take care of them, you really get no damage at all. So all that about extensions damage your hair. The extensions themselves don't damage your hair, but it's the poor care that you give it when they're in your head that damages it, more so. Because, you know, it's a lot. You know, if I had them, it's a lot to brush your hair every night, put the silicone in. I tell them you can't sleep with your hair. You got to put it into a ponytail or braid it to sleep. You know, there's a lot of things that you've got to do to make it work.
Is there anyone who's in Florida who can do this? I can find. Do you know?
You can go to the day.
I can find out for you. So what I do now, when I put extensions in, I just lightly brush on the hair where I'm going to put them, and then I put just a light squirt of spray. And what this does, it just avoids them slipping, it secures them, it makes them stay in the hair really nicely.
Is it texturizing spray or is it just a hairspray?
It's just hairspray. It's a very light hairspray. It's actually already, sometimes I do a lot of work on stage, and sometimes I don't want to promote products because I have certain agreements with some people for products, and sometimes I don't want to use other people's products, so I wrap them up so that just no one knows what I'm using. So what I do now, just to set that in over the spray, and what that'll do, once you clip the hair on, it'll stop the hair from falling. It really secures the hair. So if you're doing someone for a wedding, you know, they're dancing and shaking their heads around, especially, you know, like when you do, I do a lot of performers that sing, and they're on stage, and literally they're like, and you just sit there like praying, and the extensions are flying off.
Did you section it like a U?
Yes. I go from temple to temple. I use the same pattern, but when I do individual bonds, that's where I go. I usually go from temple all the way around. I do a U, I go all the way around like that. So I do it the same way. So from here, I take a little bit of the fine, a little bit to work with. These are my invention. I'm going to snap one of these now. I'm going to put it a little bit low so we get a little bit of length in the hair. Instead of snapping it in. It's actually quite secure, like, I know it hurts you, but it's not going anywhere.
It's okay.
This is actually a little long for her, so I'm going to trim it just a little bit. I get really neurotic about how I cut extensions too. I think for all you guys that get extensions, I think the worst thing that I see is when someone comes in and they literally, someone just goes like this. And then you get this broom-like effect at the bottom. It just looks awful. So when I'm working with extension, I figure out where I want it to go. I drew a combination of razor cutting and scissor cutting. So I literally take the pieces. And almost just like shaving the surface of it. All of these little pieces I'll clean up later. It's just a matter of getting it where I want it to be. So you'll see just this here, just what I've done here. And what's really good about extensions too is you can see her ends are very dry just through color. I find that when I put pieces in, those dry ends get kind of lost and you don't really see them because you're not seeing all those dry ends, you're seeing these beautiful, fresh, clean ends. So that dryness kind of gets lost in the hair, which I think is a really great thing about putting hair pieces in. It blends really well. So this gives me an idea of the length and the haircut of where I'm going with it. So let's continue on. Just get the other side going. I usually section off to like just a little bit behind the ear to make my first.
How much of a head of extensions do you use on Lily? Pounds.
I had to custom make hers because her hair's so dark. Actually, I've got an upcoming tutorial with her that I just did on hair extensions. And I actually made these for her. Because I wanted her hair to have a little dimension and not so black.